This is one I would have liked to seen live. What is happening, everybody? Trey here, and today at Reactions to the Classics, I'm continuing my reactions to Black Sabbath's discography, and I'm up to their 6th record now, Sabotage. Want to again shout out our longtime friend and patron of the channel who sparked the idea for this series, our friend Carl. So thanks to Carl for suggesting this, and if you want to check out the previous full album reactions, I did it to the previous 5 records here, and man, Sabbath has just been crushing it. Every record's been, at the very least, really good, and you know, some all-time classics in there as well. So without further ado, man, you know the drill. Let's get into the quick facts. As I mentioned, their 6th record released in July of '75, went to 7 in the UK, 28 here in the States. The title was chosen because the band were at the time being sued by their former management and felt they were being, quote, sabotaged all the way along the line and getting punched from all sides. According to Tony Iommi, quote, it was probably the only album ever made with lawyers in the studio. Iommi credits the legal troubles for the album's angry, heavier sound. In 2001, bassist Geezer Butler explained, quote, around the time of Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, which is the record previous to this, we found out that we were being ripped off by management and our record company. So much of the time when we weren't on stage or in the studio, we were in lawyers' offices trying to get out of all our contracts. We were literally in the studio trying to record. We'd be signing all these affidavits and everything. That's why it's called Sabotage, because we felt the whole process was just being totally sabotaged by all these people ripping us off. In his autobiography, Ozzy Osbourne confirmed that, quote, writs were being delivered to us at the mixing desk and that Ward was manning the phones. In the liner notes to their live record in 1998's reunion, Butler claimed the band suffered through 10 months of legal cases and admitted, quote, music became irrelevant to me. It was just a relief to write a song. Iommi later reflected, we could have continued and gone on, getting more technical, using orchestras, everything else that we didn't particularly want to. We took a look at ourselves and we wanted to do a rock album. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath wasn't a rock album, really. According to the book, How Black Was Our Sabbath, quote, the recording sessions would usually carry on into the middle of the night. Tony was really working hard on the production side of things with the band's co-producer, Mike Butcher, and he was spending a lot of time working on his guitar sounds. Bill, too, was experimenting with the drums, especially favoring the backward cymbal effect. Osbourne, however, grew frustrated with how long Black Sabbath albums were taking to record, writing that Sabotage took about 4,000 years. The front cover has garnered mixed reactions over the years and is regarded by some as one of the worst album covers in rock history. Well, let me get a look here, people. I mean, that seems a stretch to say one of the worst in history. I've seen far worse. The band attended what they believed was a test photo shoot for the album cover, thus explaining their choice of clothing. Wright recalls in the book How Black Was Our Sabbath that the plan was for each band member to appear on the cover dressed in black and had been instructed to bring some stage clothes for some preliminary photos. But when they arrived, no black costumes had been laid out by the designers and the original concept had been overruled. So just a little FYI for you there. The designers carried on with the shoot, explaining they would superimpose the images at a later stage and it would look great. The session was unbelievably rushed, and the outcome was far from what had been originally envisioned. Ironically, the sleeve design was intended to illustrate the idea of Sabotage, had instead become a victim of sabotage itself. By the time they saw it, it was too late to change. All tracks here written by Sabbath themselves, and hopefully be able to get the full music in here on YouTube, but of course it'll be on Vimeo down below if that is not able to happen over on the YouTube copyright censor. So with that said, y'all, enough talk. Let's get into it with our opening track, Hole in the Sky. Bassist Geezer Butler described the song as being about pollution. Following the song's sudden cutoff, the album segues immediately into the next track, Don't Start Too Late, which is only 49 seconds. So we'll just segue that right in and listen to them together. And on Don't Start Too Late, it's an acoustic instrumental and it's named as such because the band would often start playing in the studio before the recording engineer was ready. He would shout, "Don't start," too late at them when they began playing the instrumental. So we're going to get these first two tracks under our belts here, people. As always, going to have the lyrics pulled up, take in the song, and then get my thoughts afterwards. So with that said, let's get into Sabotage. All right, I'm digging the energy right out the gate. Again, enjoying how thick Geezer's bass is, great rhythm section here. Loving this chorus, y'all. All right. A stark shift right here. Don't start too late. The Hole in the Sky, Don't Start Too Late, 1-2 punch. Quite a jarring transition, right? I guess I'll do with Don't Start Too Late, just since it was short and to the point, man. Just again, we've seen obviously Tony Iommi through much of his Sabbath career, of course, on the electric guitar, but there will be moments where he'll bust out the acoustic as well. And yeah, it was a good sounding melody. I don't have too much more to add since it was short and to the point. But Hole in the Sky Band, so energetic from the opening gates, and I thought that Ozzy was quite inspired in his vocal delivery right there. And that really helped the song. You know, sometimes Ozzy, he doesn't mail it in, so to speak, but whenever he really feels inspired to do something and, you know, kind of brings his A game, I think that elevates the entire track. And I feel that Hole in the Sky was exactly like that, and solid lyrics as well. Sabbath, I think, generally underrated for their lyrical content, and I think here that idea, I'm looking through a hole in the sky, I'm seeing nowhere through the eyes of a lie, I'm getting closer to the end of the line, I'm living easy where the sun doesn't shine. So there's almost a sense of that there's something ominous around the corner, right? I'm getting closer to the end of the line. He notes he's living rent free or free because the rent's never due. And then boom, we get to the chorus: hole in the sky, gateway to heaven, window in time, through it I'll fly. So I like it's a bit open to interpretation. It's not quite clear cut what this hole in the sky is, but you can kind of read between the lines and kind of go in whatever direction you so please, right? So really classic Sabbath riff right there too. And yeah, I think Sabbath do a great job of kicking off their records on a strong note, and this song here is no different. Hole in the Sky. So with that said, we're gonna go now to Symptom of the Universe here. It was an influence on the development of thrash metal. Its closing passage, very unlike the rest of the song, evolved from an in-studio jam created spontaneously in a single day. All right, I hear you, Bill Ward. Great Phil. All right. An aggressive track to say the least. I'm here for it. This is one I would have liked to seen live. Again, the acoustic guitars, man, not something I expected, but working well. Symptom of the Universe, definitely have to give the heart treatment to that one right there. And I can kind of sense, if you remember what I was talking about in the quick facts about how some of that aggression was coming out due to, just their management and the stuff they were dealing with outside of the studio. I feel that was apparent in this first part of the song, right? Especially from Bill Ward's drumming. Very aggressive. Ozzy was belting out these lyrics with a fury, so to speak, and we had a couple different Tony Iommi guitar solos in here where he was just shredding, right? And I think that just that's where Sabbath are at their best, when everybody's got a little bit of an edge to them. And yet I also really enjoyed the last couple minutes of the track, where the bass kind of went down in the mix and we added the acoustic guitars, and Ozzy kind of had a different cadence with his vocal delivery that was a bit softer, and all in all just gave a totally different dimension to that Black Sabbath sound, which I think again highlights their talent as a band, being able just in one breath to switch from that heaviness that we're used to from Sabbath into going to something a little bit more softer, and yet it all seamlessly works together, man. I really enjoyed this one, and again, Sabbath able to showcase these longer tracks in a way that doesn't drag on. And speaking of longer tracks, we're going to an absolute unit right here as we finish out the first side. We're going to a Megalomania, which is about what you would think, megalomania, which is a condition about having delusional fantasies of power. The megalomaniac also suffers from a split personality, one half being a bad and the other being good. Some verses are from the good point of view and some are from the bad point of view. So about 10 minutes here, man. Let's sit back and enjoy. I've been there, Ozzy.
Obsessed with fantasy, possessed with my schemes. I mix reality with pseudo-god dreams. The ghost of violence was something I'd seen. I sold my soul to be the human I've seen. How could this poison be the dream of my soul? How did my fantasies take complete control? Yeah, why don't you just get out of my life? Yeah, why don't you just get out of my life now? Why doesn't everybody leave me alone now? Why doesn't everybody leave me alone? Yeah.
All right. I like the little switch up we got going on here. Let's. Okay. I like that with the dual vocal that's muffled and distorted. The good and the bad. Ripping in the midst of pedals and effects.
Fuck me!
All right, Megalomania, an absolute tour de force of a song, man, that kept you on the edge of your seat, or it did for me at least anyway. And it's entire 10-minute run time right here, chock full of very frantic type of riffs, energetic vocal performance yet again by Ozzy right here. A bit manic in its sense, which of course fits the subject matter quite well. I feel that really came to a head in that fifth verse where it notes you have this guy kind of, again, losing touch with reality, right? And he notes, I'm really digging schizophrenia, the best of the earth. I'll chase my soul in the fires of hell. Peace of mind eluded me, but now it's all mine. I simply try, but he wants me to fail. One of the cool techniques used in this track, at a certain point in the song, you had Ozzy's clear, vocals in the left channel, and then in the right, it was, kind of the bad, side, as I was talking about at the start. That was a bit distorted and muffled, and they were coming through at the same time. Kind of put you in that more crazed piece, crazed mindset rather. And I think Sabbath does a really great job of kind of evoking that emotion through what they're talking about lyrically, and with the backdrop of the heavy, aggressive music at the same time. It really all came together in a fantastic way. You see a runtime like that, you're like, okay, I know Sabbath's talented enough to pull that off, but still, that's not easy to do, and they knocked it out of the park, in my opinion, right there. And so now we're gonna go to side B. We have Thrill of It All. Let's get it.
inclination of direction. Walk the turn and twist that drift with the children of creation. Futuristic dreams we sift, clutching violently we whisper with a liquefying cry. Many deadly final answers that are shooting.
One of my favorite riffs on this record up to this point, y'all. Great. Working so seamlessly with the rest of the band too. Man, I'm already giving the heart treatment. I've heard enough.
Won't you help me, Mr. Jesus? Won't you tell me if you can? When you see this world we live in, do you still believe in man? If my songs become my freedom, and my freedom turns to gold, then I'll ask the final question: if the answer could be sold.
Great verse right there. All right, man. The thrill of it all. Great, great track. Especially that first portion where that riff that Tony was laying down. One of my, probably my favorite riff of the record up to this point. And again, just the band so in sync with each other, just mesh so beautifully together. And again, Ozzy's quite inspired on this record right here. Maybe it does have to do with the background of what they were going, going through with management and everything. But I really enjoyed the second verse as well, saying, "Won't you help me, Mr. Jesus? Won't you tell me if you can? When you see this world we live in, do you still believe in man?" And then he notes a little bit of the music industry, right? If my songs become my freedom and my freedom turns to gold, then I'll ask the final question: if the answer could be sold. I thought that was a great play on words right there. And again, just showcases the talent that Geezer has as a lyricist. And so then we shift and again go a bit more soaring guitar licks in the latter half of the song. All in all, a message that Sabbath was familiar with throughout their catalog and work, and yet they still have some new things to say as well, like put a new spin on things as their environment kind of shifted throughout the years as well. So I think this again had the mark of a great Sabbath track, as we're going to go now to the track Super Czar, okay, TZAR at the end right there. It's an instrumental piece with a vocalizing choir. Iommi wrote this track at home with the Mellotron to create the choir sounds. A bit of a funny story. They ended up booking the London Philharmonic Choir and a harpist. Ozzy wasn't aware of this. He walked into the studio, thought he was in the wrong place because he saw the choir there and was like, this isn't going to be for a Sabbath record. So kind of interesting there. Sabbath have put on instrumentals on, I believe, every one of their records up to this point. So let's hear this one. Getting my Gregorian chant vibes going. I feel this should be like in the end credits of some epic video game or something. Super Czar right here. Definitely had an epic sound with the vocalizing choir, of course. Totally different, obviously, than the rest of this record, which I can see turning maybe some bands off. I like it when bands kind of throw something way different there. And though I wouldn't go back and maybe just put this in a playlist, so to speak. I thought it was good for what it was. I don't have too much more to add than that. And now we're going to the next track, Am I Insane, in parentheses, radio. This was a single, although common conception is that the suffix radio was said to be added to the title because it was made for the purpose of being played on the radio. Bill Ward said it was a Cockney rhyming slang for the word mental, as in radio rental. Critics has also noted the coincidence of the title and the fact that all Sabbath members except Tony Iommi were later clinically depressed. Also, as the song fades, there's a disturbing cry that sounds like someone going mental. It's been theorized that the recording was of Jessica, Ozzy's daughter, but a 1975 interview with him suggests that it wasn't her. The engineer for this record revealed that it came from an unmarked cassette found at the studio. Although happy with most of the songs on the record, Ozzy did not like the responses he got with this or the song we just heard, Superstar. He felt the two tracks were distractions on what would otherwise be a perfect album. So with that said, let's get it.
Outside, I'll feel free. Think I'll find a place to hide. Tell me, people, am I going insane? Insane. Tell me.
maniacal laughing. All right, am I going insane? Again, a bit of different lane than what we're used to hearing with Sabbath, and for how the first side of this record, started. Yet I don't think this was a bad song by any means. Maybe not one I'd be rushing to replay, so to speak. But I thought it was catchy, especially with the repetition of the "Am I going insane?" Just the way Ozzy delivered that, I thought was pretty solid. Kind of going back to those themes, right? He says, "If I don't sound very cheerful, I think I'm a schizophrene." Again, kind of like the Megalomaniac track, right? Touching on just kind of the mental deterioration, and which again, I think kind of goes back to what the band was experiencing at the time in their personal lives. So yeah, all in all, kind of more bottom tier for me on this record, but not an awful track by any means. And we're gonna finish this album out with the 9-minute track, "The Writ," right here. It is one of only a handful of Sabbath songs to feature lyrics composed by Ozzy. It was inspired by the frustrations he felt at the time as their former manager, Patrick Meehan, was suing the band after having been fired. The song viciously attacks the music business in general, and Meehan specifically, with Osbourne revealing in his memoir, quote, "I wrote most of the lyrics myself, which felt a bit like seeing a shrink. All the anger I felt towards Meehan came pouring out." So with that said, y'all, let's listen to this, and then I'll give my favorite tracks and overall score and thoughts of Sabotage at the end. The laughing from our previous tune leads into this. That's how you start a track right there, people. Again, Ozzy feeling quite fiery and inspired on his delivery. Yeah, Patrick Meehan getting absolutely bodied in these lyrics.
A smiling face, it means the world to me, yeah. So tired of sadness and of misery, yeah.
Okay.
My life is started some time ago. Where it ends, I don't know. I thought I was so good. I thought I was far. I feel my world being torn apart.
Almost a dreamy-like sense with the keys in here and
But everything is
kind of a distant vocal mix.
if it's something I think I'll lose my Listen to me while I sing this song. You might just think the words are wrong. Too many people advising me, but they don't know what my eyes see. But everything is gonna work out fine, yeah. If it don't, I feel like blow my
It's quiet. The writ slash, as you could probably barely hear at the end there, blow on a jug, which was a very, very, quiet in the mix right there. And apparently Ozzy and Bill Ward were just kind of messing around in the studio when that happened. But the writ itself, man, kind of got, I think, into the album on a high note after a couple songs that, like I said, weren't bad, but just felt a bit different in tone than the rest of the record. This, got us back on track and ended again on a strong note. I think again Ozzy was quite passionate in his delivery due to the subject matter and the fact that he actually wrote these lyrics as well. I feel that old manager Patrick was just getting absolutely ripped to shreds in some of these lyrics right here. Notes: Are you metal? Are you man? You changed a lot since you began. Yeah, ladies digging gold from you. Will they still dig you now that you're through? Yeah, you're through. So again, he knows a poison father with his poisonous son. That's you. Yeah, that's you. I beg you, please don't let it get any worse. The anger I once had has turned to a curse on you. So, I mean, Ozzy not leaving much to read between the lines right here about his feelings towards the situation. And, just even like, are you Satan? Are you man? You've changed a lot since it began. Again, as with a lot of the songs, the talk of just kind of that mental deterioration, that anger, the way the record industry can just take the life out of you. That was all apparent in the lyrics, and again, just the heaviness on the guitar riffs here. Sabbath were again firing on all cylinders until we get the final line. Everything's gonna work out fine. Yeah, if it don't, I feel I'll blow my mind. So again, I think just if that doesn't highlight the mindset that the band was at this time, I don't know what will. But we're gonna go now to my favorite tracks, y'all. In no particular order, I'm going "Hole in the Sky." I really thought Megalomania, especially being a 10-minute long song, was really impressive. And then the thrill of it all was just absolutely great and featured my favorite riff from Iomi on this record. Symptom of the Universe was really, really strong. In its own right, too. I definitely gravitate to the first side of the record as opposed to the second. But all in all, still a solid effort by Sabbath here as I'm getting to my overall score. I would put this just through the 6 albums, this would be 6 for me out of 6. And yet, I still thought there was a lot here to enjoy. So I'm going to be at a strong 8 out of 10 on this record right here. The band's still firing, and I did like the edge of aggression that they showed through a lot of this record as well. Like I said, Superstar and Am I Going Insane, a little bit of a dip here in quality. And when you only have 8 songs, when 2 of them are a little lower in quality, that's just naturally going to lower the overall score here, just because there's not a ton of material, right? But when they were hitting on this, they were hitting quite well. And like I was saying, Thrill of It All really was impressive, as was Hole in the Sky, that really just showed again that passion, that energy from Ozzy in particular, and Iomi and company were able to really build around that there. And so I all in all, man, I even if you think the album cover sucks, I think you got to admit there is still some very quality Sabbath tunes in here, as we're talking about their classic lineup. So let me know, y'all, your thoughts, your favorite tracks, and where would you kind of rank it in regards to the Ozzy Sabbath years. Of course, let me know in the comments. Be sure to show our patron Carl some love for suggesting us to go on this journey. And we still have a couple albums left in our Sabbath journey right here. I know they're not as well acclaimed, but I'm still looking forward to them, man. We got Technical Ecstasy coming next month, and then we'll finish the series out with Never Say Die. So I'm still looking forward to those, man, and rounding out the Ozzy Osbourne Sabbath years right here. So, man, this was, again, great fun, and Sabbath are firmly in one of my favorite bands of the era for sure, just going through this journey. So I guess that's going to wrap it up from here today, though. If you'd like to have me react to a record for you, or you just want to support the channel, get access to stuff early, get access to our back catalog of various listening full album parties that we've done, voting in polls for future videos for artists to cover, check out our Patreon page, man. That's linked below. And of course, if you like the video, hit that big thumbs up and that subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything we got dropping in the future. So with that said, y'all, thanks so much for watching. Happy listening, and I will see you